joining us. I really appreciate that you've taken some time to do some fun arts and crafts with us. So again, my name is Michelle. I'll be answering any questions you have through the Q&A section. And really excited to introduce Meredith, who will be working with our Grow and Glow terrarium. All right, Meredith, let's get started.
Hooray! Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Chanel, for introducing me. And I am so happy to be here with all of you. Thank you for taking time to be here with us. So today we are working with our Grow and Glow terrarium, as you can see here in my hands. So this is a really fun kit because it allows you to actually grow living plants in a cute little environment. And it comes with stickers and figurines, and everything you need is included. So I will go ahead and open up the box and show you what you get. Let's go. Okay. Now you might notice this box is a little bit different than the box that I just held up. So we have two versions, and you might have this one or you might have this one, but they're basically the same kit with a little difference in the figurines and the stickers. So I'll be using this one for our class today. All right, and let's do a top-down view. Okay, so we have these wonderful seeds and some more little seeds. We've got our terrarium with, look at how cool these little stars are up top. And we've got our handy dandy instructions. Oh. Ooh, and everything else we need, like, oh, to decorate, we've got our stickers. And I know there are two different types of stickers in here. There are colored stickers, but there's also glow in the dark stickers, and we'll get to those later. We have some white rocks. We have our planting soil. We have some pretty blue sand. We have a little mister, and then our figurines all wrapped up safely in here. So that's what we get in our kit. So let's go ahead and open all of this up. So what you may need, besides everything that you get here, is some water. And you can put the water in your mister here, or you can just have some water on hand because we will need that for our soil. And here's our little figurines from the version that I have, which is an adorable little bunny. Hello. And then we have our cute little mushrooms here. Open those up. Ta-da! These are little mushrooms, and there's a cute little ladybug on there. So these are the figurines you're given in this kit, but in this set, you actually get an adorable little raccoon. And the raccoon is holding a stick with two marshmallows on it. And then you're also given a little fire. So the raccoon is toasting marshmallows over the fire. So it just depends on which version you have. You might also want to grab some paper towels so you can wipe off your hands after you handle the soil and the rocks. Because I know some people don't like having messy hands while they're crafting.
So Meredith, we had a friend ask about the supplies, because in somebody else's set, we have a little bit different things going on. Can you talk a little bit about why you may get some with a mushroom and why you may get some with a raccoon?
Sure, yeah. So a couple years ago, we did this set here, and this set was so popular and people loved it, and we still love it. And so some stores still carry this version of the Grow and Glow terrarium. So you'll see there's little a moon sticker and stars, and then over here some mushrooms and our bunny rabbit like I showed you. But in this set, this is a little bit newer, and this one is just as fun. But you're given different stickers like a shooting star and our little raccoon toasting a marshmallow. So they both are super fun and super cute, and they both include glow-in-the-dark stickers, and they both include the seeds and all of the materials that you'll need to grow your own little plantscape terrarium. Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
You're going to walk our friends through are the same no matter which one you have.
Right, exactly. So the steps will be the same. The instructions will be pretty much the same, but the instructions might have some different pictures. Here we go. I'll keep all these closed for now. We'll keep those closed until it's time we get to them. So we'll put our stickers up here and our little figurines out of the way. I can just spread this out. Okay, let's get started. All right, turn this plastic mason style jar into your own little habitat, complete with real plants, stickers, tiny figurines, and a plant mister. What is a terrarium? A terrarium is a miniature garden created in an artificial environment. Small plants, rocks, and garden-themed accessories are often included. These gardens are planted as a fun hobby or for educational purposes. So that's fun. All right. There we go. Okay, get ready to grow. It says lay out some newspapers or paper towels to work on. So I've got my paper towels here. This will help keep your area clean while you plant. Helpful hint, the potting mix, stones, sand, wheatgrass, and chia seeds can be divided up if desired. So that'll be helpful if you're doing crafting with a friend or family member. You can divide this up so you can both plant a little terrarium. And although we're only giving you one of the mason jars, you can do this in an actual other little jar that you might have laying around from peanut butter or from jelly, or any little clear container will work. All right, so use half now and then set the rest aside to replant your terrarium later. Okay, so here's our first step. Layers. Layer the potting mix, the sand, the stones as shown. For best results, do not place the sand on top of the stone layer. All right, so let's take a close look here. The first layer, so this here is our terrarium, our mason jar. The first layer is potting soil. Then the second layer is sand, some rocks, some more potting soil, and then some seeds. So what's really great, if you do not have this kit at home, all of these are things that you could probably find at either Michael's or a garden center, or even like a convenient type store that has things that you can grow. So the seeds, you might find a little packet of seeds somewhere. The potting soil, the rocks, the sand, all of those might be found at a pet store too. So you might want to check pet stores or garden centers and even your local go-to store. All right, so use the mister bottle and water to dampen each layer as you go. This will help keep things in place. Okay, so let's start. First, I need to put some water in my mister bottle. So it's a little bit easier if you just do this over a sink and you just get some, from the faucet, get some water into your mister bottle. But I have water on the side over here, so I just filled up my mister bottle that way. And I filled it a little too much, but there we go. And this is like a little spray bottle. So if you do not have this kit at home, you can use any kind of little spray bottle, or you can even just use like a little watering can or anything that you can put water on each layer. So there we go. All right, so our first layer is potting soil. So we'll open up our potting soil. We'll open up our terrarium first. Okay, in you go. Okay, so if you want to do a front shot, I can show how far up the jar we're going with our layers. Thank you. So this layer is about, I don't know, the tip of your finger tall. So we've done that. Now let's go ahead and mist it. And as you mist it, you'll see the mist actually gets on the side of the mason jar, but don't worry about it. We can clean that off after we're done putting all of the layers in. Okay, so next is our sand. And this one tears open pretty easily. So if you are going to save, well, like we kind of say in the instructions, save some of your materials for later, you're given these reclosable bags. So when you open up your sand, you can use some of it and then keep it in the resealable bag. I'm just going to cover over all of the soil. And I'm only going to put about half of the bag in, just in case I want to make another one, because we give you so many seeds in this kit that you can make a couple terrariums successfully. So I'll close that up like that. And then I'll put that in a resealable bag. Okay, and we're all set for the next time. Okay, the next one is rocks. Now, and it did say to spray, I'm going to just spray this a little because the sand is really kind of staying in place by itself. Ooh, before I move on, let's do another front shot so you can see how much sand I put in. Here we go. So you can see it's not completely level, but that actually adds a little bit of interest to your terrarium. So I have a little more soil on this side, but over here I have a little bit more sand, and that's okay. All right, now let's move on to our rocks. All right, and I'll save the rest in our other little bag like that. So it's all safe and sound. And we'll put that to the side and let's do another front facing. There you go. So here's our white rocks. Okay, and then more potting soil.
And those of you who may have the other kit where there's 2 colors of sand, that is okay. You can layer them or, you know, do half in one color and half in another.
Right, that's a really good point, Michelle. Thank you for bringing that up.
And Meredith, how many times did you use the spray water when you put the dirt in?
So far, oh, you mean how many times did I actually squirt
Yeah.
onto the soil? I did it about 3 times, only to keep the soil in place, because sometimes the soil likes to move around a little bit. And it moves around a little bit more than the sand or the rocks. So it's mostly important to spray the soil. So you can see I have this much soil left, which is quite enough to make another terrarium when you want to. And we are giving you another large bag like this with the reclosable top. So we'll close this down. Michelle, that was a great question. Put that in there. Close her up. Okay, and I don't think I sprayed this one yet, so I'll spray a couple times in here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll do a couple more, 4 and 5. So when I sprayed it, you can kind of see, I don't know if you could see or not, but some of the soil actually went poof. So here's our layers. We've got our soil, we've got our sand, which in this kit is blue, but in the other kit, you're given purple and blue, I believe. And then we have our white rocks and more soil. All right. The next thing we get to do is put our seeds in. So let's see, does it say anything about that here? Yes, it does. Sprinkle a few chia seeds and wheatgrass seeds onto the damp soil. Oh, you know what? I skipped a step. Once the layers are complete, mist the top of the soil until it's very damp. Set your rabbit and decorative mushroom inside. So we're going to dampen the soil so it is very damp. So I'm going to just keep spraying it until it feels really damp. Now I'm just going to feel it with my finger. Yeah, that seems pretty good. So this time I would say maybe like 20 to 30 squirts will make it very damp. Now in this one, like we're saying, we're putting in our cute little mushroom and our cute little bunny. Actually, before I do that, this is the time. If you want to wipe off some of the spray, some of the spritz from the side of your terrarium, now's the time to do it, because from here on out, we're not going to really want to mess with the inside of the terrarium very much. So most of it, here we go. I'll show you up front. Most of the mist has been wiped off. So now it's, hello, a little more clear. You can see right through. There we go. Okay, so we'll put our little mushroom in with our sweet little ladybug, and we'll put our bunny rabbit in on the other side. And I'm pushing them in a little bit so they don't move too much. I don't really want them to move around. There we go. Okay, now is the time that we open up our chia seeds, which are these little guys here, and our wheatgrass, which are the little larger ones here. So it says just to sprinkle a few of the chia seeds and the wheatgrass seeds onto the soil. So in the past, I have gotten very excited and sprinkled about half the bag. That's too many seeds. We don't want to sprinkle half the seeds. We want to sprinkle maybe like 1/4 to 1/8 of the seeds. So I'll put however many seeds that we should start with out into my hand, and we can actually count them. Because sometimes when you put too many seeds, it doesn't grow as quickly as you may want it to. So I have all of these seeds left, and we have plenty of materials left over to plant these at a later time. So as I count, I'm just going to sprinkle them in. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and I think 30 will be good to start with. So the other ones we'll put back in here. Now for our chia seeds, these are much smaller and much more difficult to count. So I'm just going to put a couple in the palm of my hand, and you can see how much I'm holding versus how much is still in the bag. So I'm going to put this in and keep this for later. So we'll sprinkle these in like fairy dust. Yeah. And you can just sprinkle them all around, and it'll be pretty amazing to see where these sprout up. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Now it says you can use the eraser end of a pencil to lightly press them into the soil. For best results, place the seeds behind your fingers. That way you will still see them when the garden starts to grow. So, behind your figures, not your fingers. So I don't have a pencil with me, but I'm going to use, these are kind of blunt scissors. I'm going to use these to push the seeds down into the soil. So get in there, little seeds. And you don't have to push them too far down, just far enough down so they're mostly covered. We basically want to keep our seeds nice and protected, give them nice little homes within the soil so they feel at home and like they want to grow, and keep them nice and warm down there. There we go. And we'll move like that. Get in there. Hey, nighty night. Have sweet dreams. There we go. Okay. So they're all pretty much into the soil. All right. Next, what do we do here? Put a lid on it. Okay. So now's the time we just screw our lid on. And for those that do have this kit at home, you'll see these little shapes are actual holes. So your little terrarium will be getting some airflow, and you'll be letting light in from the top of your terrarium. So If you're using a container from home, you might want to just put a piece of saran wrap over top of it and put some holes in it, rather than putting a solid lid like the peanut butter lid on top that doesn't have any holes. You might want to put something where light can actually get in. So that's my tip for the day. When you are done planting, add your starry sky lid. Done. Now decorate with stickers. So while you're decorating though, it's really important to not tip your terrarium to the side, or else everything that we've just done will all shift. And then it might not turn out as you want it to. So you kind of have to hold up your terrarium and put your stickers on like that, like this. Boop, 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 like that. So let's start. Now, as I mentioned, this kit comes with fun little stickers that may be different than what you have in your set. So whatever stickers you have, go ahead and stick them on. And when you're done with the colored stickers, go ahead and put the glow in the dark stickers on. Yay. What I love about these stickers, they are transparent. So they're colored on one side, but they're kind of transparent, so you can kind of see through the other side too. So when you're looking through your terrarium, you'll see your butterfly or your mushrooms. So Michelle, do we have any other questions right now?
We actually just got another question.
Yeah.
Can you put stickers on before you stuff the inside?
You definitely can. And if you do that, just keep in mind where your stickers are versus where you put your little figurines. So that's a great question. And yep, you can definitely do that. And I think we just instructed people to do it this way, just because this is the way that we originally tried it. But yeah, if there's a better way to do it, we definitely think it's great that you brought that up. So you could go ahead and decorate your terrarium first, and then you don't have to worry about tilting it. So that was a great question and a really good recommendation. There we go. Okay. Now with these glow in the dark stickers, these work best when you charge them up next to a bright light. So I have a bright light right in front of me. So I'm holding the stickers up right now, just charging them a little bit before I go ahead and put them on. But after I put them on, I'm going to charge them again. And then I'm going to really quickly turn off the lights so you guys can see how well they glow. So that's a good amount of charging for right now. Now I'll go ahead and put them on our terrarium. And you can even add some of these to the top of your terrarium if you want. And that goes for both the colored stickers and the glow in the dark stickers. So I'm wondering if anyone else out there has already made a terrarium before. And if you did, what kind of things did you put in your terrarium? Oh, it's stuck to me.
So for those of you who raised a hand, you won't be able to talk through this Zoom webinar. So please use use the Q&A button if you have a question.
It sounds like we have some people out there who have made them.
A very good question. How tall does the greenery grow?
How tall does the greenery grow? That is a really good question. So my best example is to show you on the box here, and we'll get a front facing here. On the sample on the box, you can see that the chia seeds are growing not all the way up to the top of the mason jar, but they eventually will. Now the wheatgrass is already growing up to the top of the mason jar. So there's a good chance both the chia and the grass will grow past the top of your mason jar and possibly even through the little star-shaped holes at the top. So it's really fun when that happens too. It also depends on how much soil and the different layers you have on the bottom. So you can see with ours, we have about this much already taken up by our soil and our sand and our rocks. So it only gives this much room to grow. So our wheat grass and our chia seeds will probably grow, the chia seeds will probably grow at least up to here, and the grass might even grow through the top. So they are very good growers, I should say. Great question. Okay, so let's go ahead and charge this up. So I'm going to hold it up here to my very bright light. Oh, and Michelle, were there any other questions while we charge these stickers up?
Yes, we do have a question. How much water, how often do we water it? And do we need to take the top off?
Oh, yes. Okay, so let's see if it says on here. Helpful hints on the back. In most cases, your garden will begin to sprout in 3 to 4 days. For best results, keep your terrarium in a warm, sunny place. If your seeds are not sprouting, check to be sure the soil is damp. Mist as needed. So you can see if in 3 or 4 days, what we've just done, if you don't see any little sprouts start to move up, then take the top off and spritz it with some water so it becomes damp again, and then put the top back on. And make sure you're putting it in a sunny spot because wheatgrass and chia seeds like sunshine, just like a lot of other plants. All right. The next note is if your garden gets too wet or humid, you may notice some fuzzy growth appear, which is natural. These are little plants called mold. Remove the lid and let your garden dry a little bit. So only if you see the fuzzy stuff happening, take the lid off and let it dry out a little bit. But if you don't see any fuzzy stuff growing, you're good. Okay, over time, your garden will need to be replanted, which is why we have all of that stuff there left over. You can use any leftover materials and plant it again, or buy new seeds and soil. These are available at any garden center. So we've already talked about that. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to turn the lights off so you guys can see our terrarium glow. Okay, let's see if I can set this up so you guys can see it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, do you see it? Is it glowing?
We see a moon.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's the
Star.
moon.
I think we're getting a
Oh.
reflection from your phone, but it's there.
Okay, there's our
Ah,
moon. Yeah, in person, it's glowing a lot. So you'll be able to see it much better. And that'll be a great surprise for you when you complete yours at home. So that concludes our Grow and Glow Terrarium class. And it was wonderful to do this with all of you. So I can't wait to see what your terrariums look like and how they turn out. So once your grass starts growing and your chia seeds start growing, feel free to take a picture and ask an adult if they'd like to share it on social media with us. So Michelle, anything else you want to add?
no, other than, if you have your adult use the hashtag Make It With Michaels or hashtag Creativity for Kids, we can take a look. And then the YouTube video will be up within probably about 24 hours. So if you missed a step and you want to go back and refer to it, you may do so. And thank you so much for spending your Friday with us.
Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.